Peace, peace. Assalamu alaikum. How's everybody doing? It's been a minute. Of course, I've been busy. Went on the head, stuff back in the shack. We got some activity going on out there. So, went on the head while they got things going on out there, moving eastbound. So, I'm going to go ahead and take a break. And I want to talk about Rapido's new General Electric C36-7. Not the C30-7, but the C36-7. Now, I got the engine already out the box, okay? I'm going to go ahead and show that to you in just a second. But I'm going to show you what you get in the box. It's a pretty impressive locomotive. I've been looking for this engine for some time now. And here it is. It's in my possession. I used to see the C36-7 when I lived in Hopewell, Virginia for a time. I used to live on Western Street, right beside the train track that led to downtown Hopewell and City Point. And I used to see these engines. I caught them just when they was just receiving ditch lights. All right. So, within the box, okay, give me a minute. Right now I'm here taking my break. Now, what you get in the box, just going to show you. All right. General Electric C36-7, number 8539. For those that's on Facebook, okay, you seen the pictures and everything. And I went on ahead and gave it a couple of runs, some laps and everything. Go ahead, stretch. That's one thing, when you're trying to. Give me a minute, fellas. Give me 1 second. That's the C30-7. Rapido C30-7s. Go ahead and look that up. Okay, gonna do the review on that. I'll open this box. Give me a minute. I went on ahead and weathered the locomotive just as it appeared when it retired from CSX. So, okay, here we go. Got it out the box. Got the box lid open. So, within the box, we're going to go ahead and take a look. Okay, you got your Rapido sticker, your C36-7, Missouri Pacific, C36-7 sticker. You got your other miscellaneous stickers and everything and stuff. Rapido's quite humorous. Yeah, okay. The receipt. Okay, of course, I mean, it is what I say. A lot of times, my purchases are an investment. It's an investment. Okay, now what does that have to do with the series? Okay, I'm a history buff. You know what I'm saying? And again, what I couldn't get back then, I can get now. Okay, here's your manual. For those out there, I'm quite surprised for those who hasn't purchased a Rapido engine or any type of equipment. They're pretty lively and, I use a lot of humor. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jason, Sharon, and the crew. Here's your exploded diagram of all the parts. You got time to sit and tarry too long through it. Okay, so if something's missing, go ahead and contact them. Okay, you got 2 pages of that. So inside, like I said, I already took the engine out. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to analyze the locomotive. Okay, and also I'm going to do a little something extra in talking about the engine. Now, I've been purchasing a lot of Rapido products because I feel that, from what I'm doing, it caters to what I've been doing. Okay, what I've been doing the train. Excuse me, I've been out daggone walking the tour. So I've been out the booth. I pre-ordered the engine for those out there that's worried about cost. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little trick what I do. Take $20, put it away. All right, so I have the engine right here. Now let's go over some things about the C30-7 and the C36-7. Excuse this little scrap wire. Now, both of these locomotives are the -7 series. As you can see, I did the horsehead decals because, again, you know what they would look like today if tiered compliance wasn't so stringent. But here we are, you know what I'm saying? I mean, my money, unless y'all daggone paid for it, and it's yours, okay, be quiet. I made this and stuff, man, the way I like it. All right. So, unlike the C30-7, the C36-7, all right, some light. Okay, let's get some light going on. All right. So, it's pretty detailed. So, let's go ahead and tarry to what you're getting, what you're investing in. Now, I still got to add the actual LED lights. I still got to wire that. I haven't got a chance to. Eventually, I'll get around to it. But the C36-7, when they ordered, they ordered the first batch. Okay, when they first ordered the locomotives, okay, they ordered them. They were pretty much identical with the C30-7. However, so when they first ordered the C36-7, okay, in 1981, I believe. Okay, the CNW, well, excuse me, not CNW, what I'm talking about? Excuse me, I'm all over the place. So when they first ordered Norfolk Southern, well, excuse me, Norfolk and Western ordered the C36-7 because they were so pleased with the C30-7 and because of the cold drag movements, okay, they first ordered a small order of 6 of the Norfolk and Western, okay, and then they received 25 more of the C36-7s a year later, 1982, okay. Now, in the late production, okay, the difference between the C30-7 and the C36-7 is the hood doors are different. And, of course, you know, after a year pause and stuff, a 12-unit order of C36-7s, the Norfolk Southern, okay, they looked a lot different, you know, notable changes. Okay, one such, unlike the C30-7s, the C36-7s, the rear is actually the front. All right, the rear is actually the front of the locomotive. So, okay, we're gonna go ahead and go with that. Now, prior to all of that, it did not have the ditch lights. In fact, you know, they didn't have pretty much anything as you see, you know what I'm saying, like the ditch lights and little doodads, knickknacks and everything. You know, another thing, the notable difference between the C30-7 and the C36-7, of course, is the extended range dynamic brake hump in the back, which, if you look in, is see-through. All right, I mean, you can't see through from to the other side, but you can see out the top grating and you can see out the air intakes right here. All right. So let's go ahead. I don't want to be all over the place with it, but so on the front, okay, you got your snow plow, you got your McCartier coupler, okay, you got your multiple unit cable, okay, you got your independent brake lines, your rubber air independent brake lines. You have a drop step, okay, as per Norfolk Western, Norfolk Southern style. Okay, you have different warning labels and everything. As per Locomotive, your former class lights are plated over. Okay, which now, unlike the C30-7, which has the class lights on there, okay, the class lights on the Locomotive is plated over. Okay, you got your headlight, and noticeably, unlike the C36, unlike the C30-7's rear, uh, which had the bell is mounted different and somewhere else. Okay, so it does not have the bell. The arrangements of the radiator air intakes are different. Okay, we don't want to tarry too long about that. Okay, unlike the smaller exhaust stack, you have a bathtub style exhaust stack with your Locomotive. Okay, the P5 horns. Okay, when you cut the sound on, they do have a P5 horn for Norfolk Southern, which pretty much uses the P3 and the P5R style horn. Okay, so it's got a sweet sounding type deal with the horn. I really like it. Okay. Once again, okay, the horns is different. Okay, like the C30-7s is by the cab, where the C36-7, the horn is at the center of the long hood. Uh, okay, going towards the rear. Once again, they operated it initially as the long hood as the front, so that's why I'm going this way. Okay, so actually both locomotives technically are facing in the same direction. Now, okay, you got your tall antennas, okay, on the top, and you have a little air pocket hatch right here. Okay, you got your windshield wipers and everything. You do have a neat style cab interior. Now with the cab interior, yes, the control stand is mounted towards the short hood. Okay, and the control stand does light up. Okay, because eventually, as time goes on, we want to be able to see. Okay, so you have your spare knuckle bracket as per practice for Norfolk and Southern. Okay, you got your spare knuckle bracket, your battery box, and electrical cabinets with your warning labels. Okay, we can go ahead and go along with it. Okay, it's got its metal. It's got detailed walkways. The trucks. Okay, unlike the Rockwell trucks or the triple class trucks, the Rockwell trucks is they do have the truck see through, just like the C30-7, except it does not have the triple class design. The etched metal see through stairways. Okay, step wells. Your air reservoirs. Okay, excuse the focus. Okay, I got the light on. Okay, unlike the C30-7, which has two different type gauges in them, or intakes, not the intakes, but just different apparatus on the tank. We have two here. You got one on the C30-7. Okay, and just like where you have, just a whole lot different. Okay, it's a whole lot different, a little more efficient. Uh, the long hood, of course, has the it's a lot different, okay, especially in the dynamic brake grid, whereas the train is pulling long strings of coal drags. Okay, you have your speed recorder as well. Okay, now with operating long hood, the crews are gonna be looking out. Somebody got y'all gotta be awake. Okay, because I mean that's long hood. You ain't gonna really be able to see. So, but they use long hood for crew protection. Okay, so that's why they designated the long hood as the front. So, okay, we're going towards the back of the locomotive. Once again, okay, Norfolk Southern deemed the short hood as the rear of the engine. Let me show you something. Okay, as you see, the F right here denotes this engine. Okay, the long hood as the front. Okay, towards the rear, the short hood. Okay, you got the etched metal windshield wipers. You have a detailed cab interior. Okay, you got your wind deflectors on the side. You got your firecracker antennas as well. Okay, you have your drop step on the rear right here. You have your ditch lights. Okay, you plated over glass lights, your horse head decal. Okay, I'm gonna add a little more decals for safety because they be tripping on safety. All right, so again, I'm just showing you just the differences with these two locomotives, both Rapido stepping into higher, more powerful horsepower locomotives, 6-axle engines. So we're gonna look on the engineer side, still the engineer side, but again, this is the rear of the engine according to Norfolk Southern practices. Okay, yeah, it's metal steps. Okay, they do have step lights as well. They do not have the the track indication lights. Okay, they don't have it. I'll eventually look at the pictures, see if they have night pictures. I found 6 pictures in the daylight. Okay. Now another thing, unlike the Missouri Pacific Union Pacific C36-7, the extended range dynamic brake hump, okay, is got a notch on each side. So that way, because of the Alleghenies and the Blue Ridge Mountains, when they get the cold, you got the tunnels. The tunnels you got to face with. So, just like with these types of locomotives, was the prelude to what's to come. As you can see, okay, you have your dynamic brake hump. Okay, now same type of cab, but you can see the origins and the evolution of the locomotives. So, as you can see with Norfolk Southern, okay, this pretty much with General Electric as a whole, you could see the evolution detail of what is to come. Okay, as time goes on, the importance of train handling and the dynamic brakes, the need for dynamic brakes. All right, so that's what we see here. Okay, first you had this, then it came to this technology. Once again, you could see through the dynamic brake grid along the top grating. So that's a good step up. Just like you see here, okay, on the C39-8 and the C40-9, and then on up, okay, to AC units, and then eventually the GVOs, then the Tier 4s. So evolution started to come about with these locomotives. However, like Norfolk Southern, they usually operated with long hood forward. But either way, the way the engines are positioned, the train's gonna get there. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish talking about my showcase. Now, of course, on the side, on the engineer side, okay, you got your, you know what I'm saying, your walkway, okay, your fuel gauge on this side. You have, you know, with magnification, legible warning signs for your fuel gauge, your cutoff switches. You do have a real scale chain on the side right here. You have your wind deflecting baffles. There's the cab interior, and the control stand does light up. Okay, going towards the front, of course, with a C30-7 and C36-7s. In evolution, the hood starts to widen. Once again, like the C30-7, unlike the U-boats, which was much more narrower, okay, you had your aftercoolers and everything, where the hood started to get wider. Okay, and not only the hood, but also the radiator wings seem to get bigger over time. Okay, where you started seeing more of the evolution when you saw the C39-8s, where it started to widen up and start to square up. Then you C40-8s to your C40-9s when things just started to appear a little more neater. Okay, so they always use firecracker antennas. All right, so back towards the front. Okay, they have snowplow front and back. All right, and you have your P5 horn. Okay, so yeah, you got your P5 horn. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go and put it on my little test track right now. As you put the locomotive on the tracks, okay, the first thing illuminated is the step lights, okay, as well as the number boards. Okay, let's get a little detail going on. As you can see in the trucks right there, you can see in between the trucks. Okay, the details of the traction motor details. You also see this in Aurora models. Okay, so let me just move it up some so that way we can get a clear view of. Now, listening to the engine is pretty quiet. The motor's pretty quiet. You have your Norfolk and Western designated designation right there. Your brake wheel, which leads down to your chain, scale chains, your snow plow at the rear, and out here you see dynamic brake grid, just the way I remembered it. You see your fuel gauges, air tanks, and everything that goes alongside the locomotive, as well as your front truck right here. Again, you can see the detail in the truck side frames. Now, just like when you had the C30-7, same thing, except the C30-7 had the triple class trucks. Okay, I added the fuel gauge lights and everything, but I've already discussed about the C30-7. Right now, we got to do the start of the show. I add my lights and after market components the way I see it. Okay, I really wish that, you know, Rapido and other manufacturers would jump out the window and go ahead and open them grills up, get us some air and everything. But then, you know, it comes with that, right? Cost. All right. So, okay, my little track windshield. Let's go ahead and fire this baby up. Now this is a little bit louder than the C30-7, but I can't complain. You know, they was gonna add more, and it seems like each time a Rapido comes out with an engine, it's you know, it gets better. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move it up. Let's get the headlights. You got your brake squeal. You have your cab interior with your lit control stand, detailed cab interior, and of course, you know, you got your dynamic brake grid up here, your dynamic brake blister. Okay, for the horn. You have your P5, your P3 or your P5 horn. This is a P5 horn. P5s have a very distinct, sweet, mellow, soulful sound. Okay, and Norfolk Southern is known for it. All right, so let's advance it. The locomotive here has ditch lights. And the ditch lights flash. And going forward, the horn blasts two blasts. As the bell rings, the ditch lights oscillate. Now, on my railroad, of course, short hood is forward on my railroad. When the bell rings, the ditch lights oscillate. Now notice, I honked the horn 3 times as the front, short hood is the rear. So I'm just going by Norfolk Southern practices. They do have sanding lines on each of the trucks. And once again, snow plow on the rear as well. And I told you, excuse me for the rumination, I just had to remind you, you know, several times for those out there that didn't get things. Okay, now you can change your couplers, okay, to KD, depending on your tastes. Okay, McCarty is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have my little tweaks and everything, so it ain't gonna be much though, because I'm pretty pleased. You're doing night operations, some pretty good night operations. Now, here's another thing. My only gripe with the But a lot of models, besides scale trains, is, and even Rapido, but still there's some marks missing. We need to get the porch light going on, fellas. Okay, so if we can get that, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, a few knickknacks and everything, man, then, you know, y'all, ain't nobody touching y'all right now, Jason. So, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. As it shut down, the control stand cuts off. We're going to cut the lights down. I'm going to leave the headlight on. Okay, probably put it at Rule 17. There we go. So, okay, I spent 31 minutes here. Okay, I'm not going to go over the sequence. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Because right now my job, I do the review at home where I could do a thorough review and all the other features, all the other wonderful features that come with this locomotive, just give you the bare basics. Somebody's going to do the whole full round with it. You know, I'm quite certain quite a bit of people are going on to purchase this locomotive. You can order them you can get at your brick and mortar. I got mine at Train World. I pretty much get everything, you know what I'm saying, at Train World in Brooklyn. So they know my name. They know my first name, damn near. Shout out to James Wright, you know what I'm saying, because I know that he's a, you know, customer. I think he goes to the Lynbrook store, you know, anytime he's in town. Shout out to Dan Carter Passy. I know he's probably going to do a solid review. The couplers, when I did the couplers did match the actual NMRA standards on this locomotive. Okay, all the wheels were engaged when I went on and tested, you know, initially tested. I don't ever leave the shop unless I check everything, because it's a lot of money. For those out there that, you know, again, a lot of people shy away from a lot of these engines because, you know, how I do it, take $20 when they make the announcement, take $20, throw it away. All right, take $20, throw it away. Put it somewhere. Forget about it. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Put that $20 somewhere. That way, when they do release it, you just pull that bread out and go ahead and get your product. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do it. Okay? That's how you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be afraid of the cost. Come on, what you doing with $20? What's so important every time? Okay, that you can't stash away $20 every time you get paid. Okay, what y'all doing with money? You make sure you have some money, you know, to where you can get the stuff. Okay, that's how you do it. So, all right, this is Daniel Lucas, aka Claude Ketchum. Okay, like me on Facebook. Okay, it's Claude Ketchum, as well as Instagram. Okay, Daniel Lucas here on YouTube. Yeah, man, and Abdul Kabir. Okay, but you know what I'm saying, if you see me at the masjid. But yeah. So yeah, this is Rapido's new C36-7. Okay, like, share, subscribe, like it, bump it, dump it, write a comment, do whatever you gotta do. Okay, real nice engine as usual. Okay, Rapido continues to raise the bar. Same thing with scale trains, but right now this is a Rapido issue. Jason, do not come after me. All right, and stuff. I'm just bigging a lot of people up, a lot of hobby. All right, it's Daniel Lucas.